iPhone 7. What's up guys, Everything Apple Pro here, and I have the new iPhone 7 in hand. As we all know, Apple did make it water resistant. So what does that mean? It's got an IP67 rating. Basically, you can sink it down to 1 meter, leave it there for 30 minutes, and be able to pick it up and it'll be just fine. But will it really hold up? That's what I want to test out today, and I built an awesome contraption to go ahead and do that. So officially, we're going to test it at the 1 meter rating for 30 minutes. Then I want to test it at a next level, comparing it to the new Galaxy S7. So that means 1.5 meters at 30 minutes. I want to see, even though it's not rated at the IP68 rating that the Galaxy is, if it'll hold up at that rating. Basically, how water resistant is the new iPhone at a depth of 1 meter and 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. Let's find out. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna sink these in very carefully to try and get them sitting on the bottom so we can go ahead and see through this vase. I've actually never done something like this. Usually we just throw it in the water and see what happens. This time around I actually want to measure it and at different depths. So some of you guys might be asking, won't the water pressure not be the same as it would be in a pool? Well, I actually consulted with a really smart friend, smarter than me, and he told me it's not about the surface area of the water, it's actually just about the height and depth. So this will still have the same water pressure down here as it would in a 5-foot pool. But this is only filled to about 3 feet and 3 inches, the rating of the iPhone 7. So let's go ahead and test that first. And we're gonna sink this in alongside with the Galaxy S7. All right. Not long enough.
That's what she said.
All right, the first to go in will be the Galaxy S7, and we're gonna start a timer. So at 1 meter for 30 minutes. All right, man, this is sketchy. Here it goes. All right, and in goes the iPhone. Alright, so we're actually approaching 9 minutes right now. It's been sitting in there doing just fine. Took me a while to get them to stand next to each other, but as far as I can tell, I mean, there's really nothing going on. The display isn't even moving around, and this is water taken straight from the tap from outside. So just regular water, 1 meter. iPhone seems to be surviving just fine, and I'm not seeing anything to indicate that any water got inside whatsoever. So I'm liking what I'm seeing, but we're gonna let it sit for an additional 20 minutes to see if Apple's claims are true. And what's cool is you can actually see that the carrier signal is still available underwater. Even Wi-Fi, I'm getting a pretty good range here. So pretty dang good, not bad. Galaxy, of course, this is its natural environment as far as I can tell. It's not even at its limits yet. This is easy for it. I mean, it's just passing by with flying colors. So let's keep going as we're approaching 10 minutes. It seems just fine, and that's actually amazing. I mean, I was waiting forever for an iPhone to become water resistant, waterproof. Although this isn't waterproof, it's a good step towards that, and I won't have to worry about taking it into the shower, stuff like that. You can even rinse it off if it gets dirty. That's absolutely awesome. So I'm loving it, and I can't wait to see the possibilities of what you can do with your iPhone that's water resistant. All the Galaxy people should have all the fun. Anyways, let's keep going. So we just got to the 20-minute mark. I had to readjust the Galaxy S7 as Samsung doesn't allow you to do unlimited timer for the display. Anyways, the iPhone is going strong. I see no signs of any water damage. Usually, I can tell when an iPhone is water damaged because the screen will start freaking out, like buttons will start being pressed. But here, we see a completely calm iPhone, and the Galaxy, of course, no concern there. It's made for this. But anyways, looking good. And I'm thinking that this isn't even going to do anything, so I want to add some water and see what happens when we add 1.5 meters of water pressure to this tube. So I'm going to go for about 4 more minutes to 25, and then we're going to add more water, see what happens. All right, lads, so nothing is happening to the iPhone. It's literally persevering. This is what it's meant for, so it wouldn't have gotten this rating if it didn't work at that rating. So we're going to go ahead and add more water, more pressure, get it to a little over 5 feet. Alright, so there it is, literally completely full to the brim. That is a little over 5 feet of water pressure. And now we're going to go ahead and see if the iPhone will still fare good. So we're going to leave it here for a good amount of time. If this doesn't do anything, we're gonna go and take a swim, get some movement, just to see with movement what happens. All right, so we're approaching 35 minutes in the water. So this is already 5 minutes over Apple's rating, and it was about 10 minutes in water deeper than what it was rated for. So 1.5 meters of water. The Galaxy screen turned off, timeout, whatever, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull them out and see if there's any physical damage to the iPhone after being kept in the water for so long. And after this, we're gonna go to the river and do some movement, some shock in the water, see if that makes a difference.
Okay, you got it.
Alright, so got the iPhone. There it is. I'm gonna pull the Galaxy out. Alright, and there's that. So, in the watery graveyard over here, let's check out what happened to these guys. So, oh shoot, for a minute there I thought the Galaxy was done for, but it's still going strong. So it is going a little bit crazy. I'm not sure if that's because of water on the display. If it continues to do that, it might actually have water inside. So I'm gonna set this aside and check out the iPhone for the time being. 3D Touch Home button is still working just fine. The display is responsive. Looking at the camera, I'm not seeing any moisture in there. In the back, no moisture. It actually seems like a very, very solid enclosure, so water would have a very hard time even getting in here. They sealed off the home button, sealed off these buttons, they're no longer concave, so it's definitely a better design for the water resistance. I'm liking this. And of course, Apple recommends you don't charge your phone. Oh, what was that? There's a certain amount of time Apple recommends you don't charge your phone for after. I'm not sure how many hours, but you should never plug in your iPhone if there's moisture in here. Make sure to blow it out, dry it out. But guys, I'm not seeing any signs of damage. I'm seeing a scratch on the display from something. So it's going to be very visible for people with black iPhones. Other than that, it seems to be just fine. After 35 minutes in the water, and 10 of those being in 1.5 meters of water. So let's go to the lake and see with some movement if we can change the status of this iPhone to deceased. Let's go ahead and head out to the club. Okay, iPhone 7, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off just maybe like 15, 20 feet right here. Do some swimming, see if this thing can handle it, but beautiful view. All right, let's do this. That's pretty cool, actually. Look at that view. Woo! It gets really blurry underwater though. I'm actually gonna try and perform a bee rescue right now. There's this little guy struggling in the water. Luckily for me, I've got my iPhone 7. I can handle this, so climb on, buddy. There's a bee sitting on top of the camera sensor right now. It's black because the butt is showing in it. Alright, so I went ahead and saved this guy thanks to my handy dandy water resistant iPhone 7. So you will live to see another day, Mr. B. you can actually go join your hive over here. Alright, so guys, there it is. That's the iPhone 7 and what it can do in the water. So I'm sorry about the audio in this video. It's all over the place. My mic actually died on me during filming, but I just want to say the iPhone 7 is much more capable than you guys think in the water. I'm actually very surprised. Apple seems to have underrated it. Not only did it survive for 35 minutes in the water, 10 of which being more than it was rated for, it also survived many jolts and jumps into the water in the Colombian River of all rivers with all the Hanford radiation and all. So I just gotta say the iPhone 7 is incredible. Still use it with a case, but I've been using this thing pretty much all day in the water already, and it shows no signs of damage. That is amazing. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to check out the other videos, and have a great day. Peace.